What's up, everybody? It's the after show, but later, episode number 204. We have a lot planned for you today, so check this shit out. Let's go. Baseline
Whatever you
Trey.
do, though, don't tell Colin Cowherd because he doesn't like people that wear their hats backwards, and we're both doing it.
Baseline Trey. Let's get this shit started.
Let's do it.
Cause it's all about the paper. Now buckle up your seats and prepare for the journey. Let the music ease your soul. Grab a spliff and start burning. Relax with us and take a trip to the heavens and come and spend a day in the 757.
Oh, Doug. So they were talking about vintage toys and shit, like things you had growing up and shit. And they were like, there was always like one or two toys that found its way into the pile that was maybe like your parents' toy or something, right? Because Rich mentioned a like an airplane that could have been Marianne's. So he was like, it could have been Marianne's, right? Because this would look like it was from the 40s, right? And Rich was like, yeah, I had that. And they were like, that shit was old. And Rich was like, it might have been Marianne's because it was at my grandparents' house. So it made me laugh because, dog, I was like, what? And then I thought about it. Dog, I remember being a kid, must have been like 4 years old. And at my grandma's house, there was this fucking little toy phone that every time the wheels would spin, the eyes would go up and down. And Doug, and it had it was like a phone on wheels, had eyeballs, and you could pull the phone on a string. Doug, it had like a 3-foot string. Why are you walking your phone?
Yeah, that's silly.
That had to be from like the 20s or some shit, right?
Okay. I had to. I mean, that's corny shit.
I think that was a toy that had to sneak into the pile over the years because I remember this shit at my grandma's house and I'm like, dog, is this something like my mom played with when she was a kid? Because it was like a little wooden telephone with eyes that went up and down every time the wheels would turn, and it had a string. I'm like, wait, hold on. It never occurred to me as a kid. Why are you walking your phone? I never even questioned it, Doug. It's crazy. Was there any toys like that you remember as a kid that kind of maybe snuck in? Could have been your pops, you know?
No, I don't think so. But my favorite phone was the Sports Illustrated football phone.
Oh, the hamburger phone, the clear, dog. Do you remember in the 90s when all the clear shit started coming out?
Clear eyeball phone. I remember that one from what Lisa's saying.
We bought our kids that Fisher Price eyeball phone. I think it was something like that, but like an original OG wooden one.
Yeah, and you're right, the Conair clear phone. Remember that shit?
Doug, when everything started going clear, the phones, pagers, freaking Nintendo 64.
Jellies for girls. Those girls wore those clear jellies. Remember their big old giraffe toe was hanging out?
Freaking the Game Boy Color, when they had that, they started having those clear ones. Oh man, everything went clear. So you could see all the technology, right? This is 1997. I want to see that technology.
Technology. I think I got my first iPod. When did you get your first iPod?
I resisted for years. I had a Zen. Do you remember Zen?
I do. I think I do remember the Zen.
So Microsoft had the Zune.
Yeah, and I remember Zune. Whatever happened to that thing? RIP or what? That thing took a shit.
Yeah, I remember my buddy Chris had one. He swore by it. He loved that thing. And
hey, call him up now and ask him how it's working for him.
I could actually. But no, he had Covino tries to cook some flautas.
I saw that.
Updates. Oh, what happened?
HelloFresh?
Is Covino? Well, it just said I got an update. Is Covino going live right now on Patreon or what?
Yeah, he is. HelloFresh.
Oh man, we're over here. We don't even get to enjoy that.
There was a teddy bear when we're done over here. We'll be able to jump on and watch his shit.
There was a teddy bear called Nosy Bear. I remember that shit. Do you remember Funky Monkey? You're about my age. Do you remember this was like my little sister shit? But she used to f Little Bear.
Little Bear?
Little Bear, Doug was.
I know Bernstein Bear.
Nah, Little Bear was like, I felt like it was, I think it was a girl. But I thought it was a little boy, but I don't remember. Anyway, Little Bear. But yeah, Doug, I was telling you something.
I had a buddy named Sugar Bear.
Little Bear, Sugar Bear, toys, vintage, color, clear shit.
Also,
where was I going with that?
Oh, Franklin,
the little turtle,
the Tortugas.
Tortuga. Oh, you know what, Doug? I couldn't stop laughing the other day on Fox Sports. Covino dropped a Caillou reference. That was another show that my sister used to watch. That shit, Caillou. Do you remember? He was like, even though I'm kind of small, even though I'm really bald, I like to play Caillou or some shit like that.
No.
No, you don't. Of course, obviously. I barely remember it, dog, and I like corny shit.
Got a question.
What's up?
Rich was talking about on last Tuesday's show that he loved going to school and he never missed school because he didn't want to miss out on anything at school. And my question is were you the same way, or were you the bad kid that ditched school and was smoking weed at the trash can in the dumpster behind the liquor store?
When I was in like high school, I loved it. I loved high school.
High school?
I had a ball. Yeah. When I was in grade school, I hated that shit. Grade school, I never ditched as a kid because I was afraid my mom was going to beat my ass. But when I was in grade school, dog, any chance I had, I was, sick, we can't go to school. Hey, anything I was enough. I hated going to school when I was a kid. But I think around maybe sixth grade, you know, maybe like when you start digging chicks and shit, you can't wait to go to school to like be like, yeah, I wonder if that bitch is gonna be here today or something, right? Whatever you're thinking as like a 12-year-old. And
Yeah.
then by then, I think school started getting fun. But before that, dog, I would think of anything in my power to make me not go to school.
I you know what? I think I did the sick thing in like junior high a little bit, and then I don't know. I just had ulterior motives once I hit ninth grade. Like a whole different world opened up to me, and so I was there for like part of my ninth grade year, meeting other people because that's where all the middle schools come there, and like there's all kind of people you didn't know, like everybody from your elementary, and then you go to middle school and there's like 10 or 12 of those they're grouped in. So now you got a little 10, 11 more schools exposed to, and then you go to high school. You got even more exposure. So I was just trying to network there for a little bit. So my freshman year, I was there kicking it, networking a little bit. And then by sophomore year, I didn't even ditch. I just stopped. I said, this, I'm done. Later.
Doug, it makes me laugh because we lived, right now, I mean, we're pretty similar. We just, grown men and shit. But when I think about that, dog, I'm like, we lived completely different lives and shit, like when we were young, and it just makes me laugh because like you're like, I was networking, right? You were hustling and you were like 13, right? And that's kind of like, I feel like the way like a lot of my cousins were. Like I remember my cousin that's my age, our first day of 7th grade, he got into a fight. And I was like, dog, for real? You're already getting into a fight? And I'm like, that just wasn't the life I was living. Like I wasn't networking, dog. I was just like, wonder if that cheerleader likes me. Like I was naive and stupid.
And we were all networking. Like Mito has some cats that I know, but like he was super cool with, and those are like, he networked with those cats. Like I know them, but if I was gonna ever with any of those cats, obviously I would just go to my boy and let my boy handle it because those are his boys. Same with Tip Dog. He had his little crew that he knew, but because he was my boy, if someone in his crew had something cracking off, I just go to him. You know what I'm saying? And Columbo, and that's why I still talk to all my same people. Like I met Tip Dog when I was in 6th grade. I met Columbo when I was in 7th grade. I met Mito in the 3rd or the 4th grade. I met Goldie in the 10th grade. You know what I mean? I met Brendan in the 10th grade. I met Mario in the 10th grade. Mars 1. I still talk to these cats. And so I don't know. Yeah, we were networking and they all have their little groups too.
I have a couple of stories real quick. My lady thinks it's weird that hold on. What the is her name? Okay. My lady, she thinks it's weird because a lot of my friends I have, like, dog, like, like the Luises of the world and my homie Chris I mentioned, my homie Ralph, and my buddy Nico I was talking to earlier this week. We go back. Those are my dogs, right?
Your compas?
We don't kick it, all that often, and but a lot of them don't live where I live. We all live in different parts of the and
world,
West Coast and shit,
the galaxy.
But those are still my homies. And my lady thinks it's funny because she's like, Doug, she's like, you've known all of like your friends and shit since like kindergarten. And me, I'm like, I think it's odd that she hasn't had friends like from when she was young, and I think her shit was a little different. She moved around a lot. Like, but
I had an ex that was like that, and every 3 years it's tough. It's tough to make good friends when you dip every 3 years.
you know, I mean, I see that, but at the same time, she's been here for a minute, you know, probably since like 8th grade, you know, when she actually moved here.
Oh, okay.
But I just think about it. I'm like, I don't know, Doug. I met a handful of people. I'm like, these are good people. I don't need to anybody else, you know? And I think that's kind of like where they were having an argument this week. And Rich was like, well, you know, how many friends have you made since you moved to LA? And Covino's like, I have friends. He's like, they just don't all live here. And that's kind of how I feel. I'm like, right here, I got my lady, my kid, you know, some of my family's here. And but I'm like, I don't need to venture out and find new friends. I don't. I have my friends. I like my friends, you know? You're probably
Well,
the
I just
newest friend I've met, you know? And I'm like, cool. I added one in the last 15 years, you know?
well, and I moved to a new spot recently, obviously, and I got a couple friends here, but even with the Bigotes and and Miguel's and Al B's and Brad's, like, what is that supposed to mean? Even does that
Yeah.
mean you kick it with them all the time, or you're still only going to kick it with them once every few weeks or months as it is because they're busy, you're busy, man. Like I get
Not in
home from
Rich's world, dog. Rich kicks it with everybody all the time.
yeah, I get home from work these days, bro, and like I'm a single dude. I'm trying to make sure my house is cleaned up, take something out for dinner, see if I'm a barbecue or not. Like I got shit cracking. Today we're doing this show, so as of 7:15 until 10, I mean my night's done.
Yeah.
What am I going to hang out with friends after this?
Yeah. No, I feel like,
No,
dog,
bro.
one of
I'm
my best
chilling. I got to
friends.
get up at 5 a.m.
I was okay. So a few weeks ago, my buddy was in town, Luis, and he was having a little birthday party for his daughter, right?
Yeah.
And I was hella stoked because his cousin, who's also one of my good friends, his name's Ralph. I seen Ralph and I was like, Ralph, what up, dog? Ralph lives here, but we're
Yeah.
always so busy, dog. When do we kick it?
That's what I'm
Maybe he came
saying.
to my house a few months ago. We had like a couple of beers and kicked it, whatever. But for the most part, dog, we're busy people. You know, you're going to work at 7, you're getting off at 6 or 7. You
Well,
get home, you put your kid down, you eat, you go to sleep. Like, what the are people doing? You know?
and let me break it down even farther. Like, I think as we get older too, our priorities change. So when August was here last time, she likes these little lemonade neon Smirnoffs, and I don't need none of that shit to get
These
drunk.
little Happy
Obviously,
Meals.
hey, yeah, they're little skinny things too. They're these little neons, but they're fire. They're fire. If anyone out there's had the Smirnoff lemonade neons, they're fire. You put some tahini around get some lime and some tahini and some tapatio. That shit, they taste like candy. They're fire. But I had those three. I had a fucking Modelo Michelada, a regular one, and I went and bought a 6-pack of Corona. I didn't have to work today. I hustled 4 days worth of work into 3 to give myself the day off today. Did some shit around the house. I put in a new stove and scratched my nuts. Couple things that I just had to take care of. But anyways, with that being said, last night I had the full intention of catching a buzz, right? Hit up the fellas. We just talked about the made friends people. And and no one wanted to go out. No one wanted to go to the bar. It was a Wednesday because they had shit going on. I didn't have shit going on. They had shit going on. So no one wanted to go get up. You know what I mean? Because the bars don't even crack off till like 10:30. That means you ain't getting home till 12:31 at the earliest. So I was like, I'm gonna get keyed at home. You know what I mean? I drank like 3 or 4 of those Coronas, and it was Mimi time. It was just I'm drinking, I'm puffing. I got a little bleezy twisted up, tore that in half, hit it, beer or two, hit it again, another beer, and it's curtains. And I had a free pass to do whatever I wanted because I had no one to answer to. I had nothing to do this morning, hella early, and I had a full opportunity to hang out with friends that I met and the whole 9 yards. But it just sometimes you're just so beat down from life, from just 5 hours of sleep here, 4 hours of sleep there, 3 hours of sleep there. Are you gonna rest and heal your body, or are you gonna hang out with friends?
Yeah, no, 100%. I feel you. And real quick, I gotta give a shout out to Blaze, dog. Who the is Blaze? I've never seen Blaze chime in, but he obviously listens to the show. He said he thought we were gonna bag on Covino. Uh, yeah, but not even. But I'm glad you're listening, Blaze. So shout out.
Yeah, shout out, bro.
I thought it was gonna be when I saw the name pop up. I'm like, dog, is this like last week when we had those Russian bots trying to chime in and shit?
Does he go by? Do you go by Blaze on the CNR show as well?
Yeah, let us know. Let us know what your alias is, or
And
is
welcome.
Blaze your real name? And now
I'm blazing right now.
I thought that was your alias right there, dog, jumping on.
Yeah, I'm trying to send test my Kevin Durant alter account.
Dog.
Speaking of,
Go ahead.
I got a question for you.
What's up?
I think we've covered this before, but I want to go ahead and ask you again. What is your etiquette?
8 inches. Oh, wait, what? Okay, go ahead.
Etiquette. Well, I would hope you'd say pull the skin back first. But
Okay,
what's your etiquette?
Etiquette is always pull this.
Pull back the flap. Well,
that's always etiquette, dog. What am I? Some kind of monster?
make sure you wash underneath the skin.
Anyways, cool. Been a listener since the Maxim days, dog. That's what's up.
Hell yeah, that's your real name?
Yeah. That's a pimp name.
Hey, your parents
dog, my
loved
name
you.
is Daniel Fitz, Doug. I wish I had a cool name like that.
Fucking Blaze. I like it.
Blaze Pascal. Shout out to Blaze.
Hey, you know what's funny is I've been saying wherever we smoke weed, I've been saying for like 30 years, let's go Blaze.
Yeah.
So
that used to, dog. I remember, Doug, real quick, let me interrupt your story. I did a report on Blaze Pascal when I was at my junior year of high school. And I remember I go, oh yeah, I'm doing my report on Blaze Pascal. And I go, Blaze. I go, that's a dope name. And then everybody started laughing because everybody's a piece of shit in school, right? And so everybody was just cracking up. And I was like, oh, that's all people used to say when we were young was Blaze. So maybe Blaze's family like to blaze, you know? But go ahead, dog. I interrupted your story about Kevin Durant.
No, it's the social media. It's the social media etiquette. What how many videos do you send out? Do you have a per limit you send to each friend? Are some of your friends more tolerant of that type of thing and engaging more than others? Do you have friends where you shoot them a video you think's funny as shit and they just ignore you? What's the etiquette? Like, let's say you do have a back and forth with a buddy. Like me and Mito go back and forth, and Reinhardt sends me some shit, and I'll send him some shit once in a while. And you know, my kid, obviously, and I got a few people that I go back and forth with as far as exchanging videos. But what's the etiquette where if you've sent a couple and they haven't responded, that you stop until they do?
I'm not a big video sender, so I don't really have to trip about the etiquette. But when I get videos, like, dog, like there's times you'll send me shit and I'm like, I'm gonna watch it right now. So then I'll watch it a day later or hours later. And if I remember, I'll give you like a double click, like I liked it, right? Like, hey, just so you see that I acknowledge that I saw it, right?
Right.
Or I'll throw you a laughing face or something like that show is funny or whatever. But I don't always do that. But that don't mean I don't enjoy it, because like my mom, she'll send me, dog, she sends me a gang of shit. And one time she was like, I don't even know why I send you shit. You never even watch them. And I was like, I do, but I just get busy, Kennedy's over here climbing on the wall and shit. And I'm like, get off there, you're gonna break your fucking neck. And then I'm like,
but that ties into my question. So am I obligated to have a string of 10 to 15 videos because you can't stop?
What do you mean?
Like, I don't think that's the etiquette. So like, and obviously I'm not calling out your mom, but I guess what I'm asking is, what is the number where you stop until they reply? Because is that the
if
etiquette?
You're doing it in a row?
Yeah. What do you just keep on going? Say you're on Instagram, or you're on, you're on TikTok, you're on one of these other ones. And let's just say Mito, for example. Okay. I
would say 3 to 5 to answer your question.
3 to 5?
Yeah. I think
so let me ask
5.
you this.
Anything after that is kind of like, come on now.
So if you're about to send your buddy something on an Instagram or TikTok and you see 3 and they're all unread, you feel comfortable keep going?
If it's like, days ago I sent them, then because dog, like me, I don't, when it comes to like Instagram, I don't check the video. I don't check the direct messages all the time. So there may be one day where I go in and I'm like, oh, and I'll scroll through and watch 5 videos at a time. And then I won't check it for another week and a half. Like, so, but if it's like a text message or some shit and you sent 2 or 3, I feel like if there's days in between, you could send a couple more, because the chances are, if you sent me like 3 videos and a couple of days have passed, I probably have watched them by now. But if it's like boom, 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 and you're like, your phone keeps going off. You keep looking. Cucuy sent another video. Cucuy sent another video. And we're at like 7, 8, 9, 10 videos. You know, I honestly won't even really give a to be honest.
But don't most
it
people
can
have
be a
their
little
notifications
excessive.
on though on the social media, so they know when someone sent them a message or they're tagged in something?
I don't. Most people might. I don't for the only thing I have notifications are phone calls and text messages. Other than that, if I'm gonna get on and check something, that's when I'm gonna look through shit. And even then I might forget it. Like I'll jump on YouTube and I'll see, okay, what are the comments? Oh, okay, I'll respond to some comments. And if I see there's a conversation going, I'll be more more conscious of it. Right. Okay, I'll get on. I'll check a couple. I know this dude's been going back and forth. I'll go back and forth with him. But if it's like just a matter of me, I'll get on and be like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna check all the after show shit. I'll get on, I'll check Twitter, and then I might stop at that, or I might open Instagram and then my kid's choking on a peanut, and I'm like, I forget, you know? So I honestly don't mind if it's through any social media. Where it can get annoying is if it's through like a text message, because that's where I have my notifications on. But I see what you're saying. If you have your notifications on, it might be annoying, you know?
Yeah, no,
Which I assume most
think,
people do have them on.
I think my etiquette's at about 3. Me and Mito both right now we're with this cat named Hoey Farmer on TikTok, and he's not even in the G unit. He's in the V unit, Vietnamese unit, and so they got a whole.
You sent me some of his shit before.
Yeah, he's the jackfruit. Oh, he's funny, right? So we'll send it. He comes out with all kind of content, so he's always making shit. Follow Hoey Farmer, Hoey Farmer, funny as hell. But with that being said, you know, if he's backed up like 2 or 3 messages I've sent him, and maybe he's at work or he ain't had time to check it, or he took a nap, or his phone died, or he was, I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe he didn't want to answer. Maybe he was in a bad mood. Maybe he was having dinner with moms. Like, I just realized for myself that people have a life, and like, unless they're avoiding you, they'll see it when they have time.
Yeah, and
right?
see, and that's the thing.
And I don't want the burden, but I don't want a burden of having to watch 20 videos because you're ADD and you didn't medicate the way I medicated for mine. You know what I mean? I'm not on that level. My ADD is not running 1,000 miles a minute, and chances are and I think that's what it is. I think the burden of responsibility is what I'm complaining about, and I'm trying to explain in this argument, because I would assume most people have multiple people in their lives sending them videos. Your boyfriend, your kid, your brother, your mom, your dad, your cousin, your co-workers, your smutty co-workers. The smut Rich and Nicole send each other smut. Like you have people sending you videos in your life. So like, I think that's why I asked what the number was for an etiquette, because if everyone goes by your theory and 10 is okay, and you got 100 or you got 10 people sending you videos, are you really going to be able to thumb through those 100? Do you feel good about lying to someone and throwing an LOL when you didn't watch the shit?
You know what? Well, when it comes to the smutty coworker, I work with usually like mostly old ladies, so I don't have that issue.
Smuttiest. I just heard an old lady story yesterday. My buddy said he banged a 70-year-old.
Oh God, who's your buddy, dog?
Well,
never mind. Don't put him on blast. You're good.
Well, no, it's no one that I've mentioned on the show, but no, there's this cat I know from moving up here, and I see him once a week, and fuck yeah, he was talking about that's what he was saying. Anyways, we'll get off of that. He said it was great too. He said he was bragging about it.
Yeah, and see, and the thing is, like this dude said, unless you're sending porn, just keep sending them funny videos. And see, and the thing is, dog, if it does get backed up so much, like if it is Instagram or something I haven't checked, I will watch the last like 2 or 3. But what I know is my algorithm is my algorithm. So if I want to sit there and watch 10 videos, it ain't gonna be shit somebody's sending me. If I'll maybe watch 1 or 2 of them, but if I have time, which I rarely do, but if I have time to sit there,
isn't that kind of rude?
I mean, if you send me 15 videos, dog, I watched 3 of them. I mean, you know, I feel like I did my part. But I'm like, if I have time to sit there,
the answer I'm looking
watch
for.
Shit, if I have time to sit there and watch shit, I'm probably gonna jump on my TikTok because I know it's my algorithm. You know what I'm saying?
Well, what about Blaze? I agree. Funny videos are the best ones because who doesn't like to laugh? But if someone sends you 10 videos, Blaze, are you watching all 10? Or are you pulling a Daniel and watching the last 3 and throwing thumbs up in the last one?
Oh,
You know, so I don't know. Anyways, it's just, you know, and I think that's a good topic of conversation because everybody sends videos and everybody gets them sent to them.
yeah.
It's just,
No, I
it's
feel
the
you.
world, it's the world we live in now, right? Everyone has a funny video. Oh, you see that shit on YouTube? You see that shit on fucking TikTok? You see that shit on fucking Instagram? Yeah, dick. If you saw it, I probably saw it. Back off.
Yeah, but at the same
And
time, not always. Dog, my mom showed me or she sent me a video that supposedly is everywhere, and I hadn't seen it. Was this dude that escaped from jail by being Spider-Man and shit?
which the one that just got out?
Yeah,
Yeah, they just caught his ass. The dude
yeah.
from
Well,
Colombia or
I
whatever.
hadn't
Yeah.
seen that shit, dog. My mom sent it to me, and then
But
she was
that's
like,
my
"Oh,
point. Now you just proved my other point. Yeah, I seen it, bro.
oh yeah, you're right." I hadn't
Yeah.
seen it though.
But that's my point. So I'm on TikTok. So if they seen it, I seen it. And think about it like this. How does algorithms work too? Because you know what? You throw up a thiz and also means timeout. Let's get into a deep dive on this. Is it even respectful to send 10 videos and up someone's algorithm?
Yeah, see,
I don't
that's the
like
thing.
this shit. I don't like all the same shit you like, bro. We talk about this on the show often as far as our musical tastes. Our musical tastes are complete opposite. They couldn't be farther from, they're totally apart. So if you sent me a million Taylor Swift videos and Guns N' Roses and Metallica's, is that even cool?
Nah, because I know you don't. I know you don't any of that, right? I know you don't Guns and Roses and shit, but see, the thing is, yeah, grab whatever. The thing is, you said like he said, you know, your friends are sending you videos that they think you'll find funny, but a lot of times, dog, even though you guys have like the same humor, there's some shit that maybe, you know, if you're sending me 10 videos, chances are I don't think all 10 are funny, or else, like you said, you would have probably seen them on your algorithm, right?
Right. You've already seen it. And that's the funny thing too, because again, I guess that makes my point even more because half the time when Mito sends me a video or I
You
send
know
him
what?
a
Hold on.
video.
I set up. Oh, okay, never mind. I was gonna say I set up these one shots over here, and I didn't even switch between them and shit, dog. I just been on this one shot all day. Fuck, man. Fail. If you've been watching the show, Doug, we appreciate you guys checking it out because I haven't changed the scenes this whole time. So, uh, but yeah,
But yeah, anyways, Mito, half the videos he sends me, I've already seen. I'm sure half the videos I send him, he's already seen. You know what I mean? Like, and even like Augustina, she's all into the cat shit, right? She likes cat videos, but she don't send me a gang of fucking cat videos.
yeah, because she
I'm not
knows that ain't
cat.
your shit,
I'm not the cat man.
Doug. So real quick, I have a quick story about last weekend. So, this chick from that show Cheer on Netflix, right?
Mhm.
She was doing a clinic at my lady's cheer gym or whatever, right?
Right?
And
A clinic?
so yeah, where she was doing a she came and she like taught a class basically, right? Um
All right.
um but
Man, look
so
at this guy. What was that?
I don't know, dog. I saw what you did.
Fucker.
Oh, dog, you see my watch that Carl Reinhardt made me?
Oh, that's dope.
What do you call it? So she came and she did a clinic, and so my lady tells me, she's like, hey, she's like, we're gonna go out. My buddy Luis, if you're listening, you heard the story already. So she was like, we're gonna go out after whatever tonight, we're gonna go do some shit, whatever. So they went out to some club, whatever, a couple of clubs, and she was like, I'm gonna network, right? So she tried to
Oh,
just
she's like the 12-year-old version of me.
so yeah. Um so so she was like, yeah, we're gonna network, right? So you and my lady, dog. That's why
Better
I get
late than
along with both
never.
of you. That's why I get along with both of you.
That's great.
So what do you call it? She
Hey,
was like,
she's
yeah,
on
we're
her
gonna
hustle.
network.
You got to respect that. She's on the hustle. She's on the grind.
So dog, so they go out, right? And she's like, hey, she's like, do you mind if it was her and this dude, these two cheer dudes that came? She was like, do you mind if they stay at our house tonight? And I was like, the fuck, do I look like the hojo? You know? I was
Yeah.
like, and I told my buddy Luis, he's like, dog, D's bed and breakfast or what? Right? And I was like, dog, what the fuck? And I was like, no. And then she was like, all right. She's like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah. Like, I'm like, I don't know these people, right? I don't give a they were on TV. And then so then like a little while later, she's like,
OJ was on TV.
yeah, she's like, oh, she's like, well, she's like, do you mind if we come and like do shit, like have some drinks and be in the backyard and shit or whatever, make a little fire or whatever? I was like, nah, I don't want those people on my pad. I'm like, this. Dog, if you would have let me know
lady
right
that?
off
You told
the,
her no?
yeah. So I was like, if you want to do this shit right off the like from the beginning, that's the plan. Cool. But don't be and I understand, dog. She was having fun. She wanted, whatever. But I was like, dog, you guys come here, whatever. Like, you guys do your shit outside. I don't want nobody at my pad like that. And because I was like, I know what it's gonna turn into if they do come to the pad and they do have some drinks. It's gonna be like, well, fuck it, we're already here. Let's kick it at the pad. You know what I'm saying? Let's stay overnight.
To drive, yeah.
Fuck
for sure
that
they were
shit,
gonna
dog.
stay the night. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, that. So, but anyway, I'll cut all that out of the episode. And shout out to Lexi for making us stop by and doing a clinic for Storm. That was cool. So we got to meet her. That was, and then Dylan, the other dude that came by. So it was cool, dog. But I'm just saying we ain't running no bed and breakfast. So
no DMB.
No, not at all.
Damn it.
Do you have any rapid fire before we bounce or what?
I do got some fire.
What's up?
I got rapid fire too. Okay, Rich said this is the golden age of comedy, and I couldn't disagree more. Do you think this is the golden age of comedy?
Yeah, 100%.
I disagree.
Really?
I think there's a lot of good comedy. I think there's a lot more good comedy than there was. So it's kind of a weird statement. But what I'm going to say also is I think it kind of goes to our conversation about Chris Tucker last week and 50 million specials. You had quality shit back in the day. Now
you're right. It is oversaturated.
Everyone got a special. Amazon got specials. Hulu everyone got specials. Like do we forget what the word special means?
Yeah.
It ain't special if everyone has a special.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys are wrong to call it a special anymore because it's not. It's just another show at this point.
Doug, they should start releasing mediocres, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Or extra specials. Fuck, somebody's having an extra special show.
The Netflix mediocre, right? They have you seen this guy named Colin Jones? He released this new Netflix mediocre. I feel you. There are some big, hard hitters like like the Shane Gillis, the Mark Normans of the world, the Andrew Schultz. Those people, I mean, they're dope.
You're more likely to get a bunk show. Okay, I think there's more comedy and there are more good shows and there's more good comics, but there is absolutely less great ones. There's a lot of good ones. There's a lot of good comedians out there, but I don't see the Richard Pryors. I mean, Dave Chappelle obviously is up there, but there are the Dave Chappelles and the legend, like even Tracy Morgan ain't Dave Chappelle, right? Even like Ralph Barbosa, he's coming up, but he hasn't accomplished what George Lopez has yet. So there's a lot of good comedians out there. Name the great ones.
Yeah. And you know what? And the thing is, like, you mentioned Ralph Barbosa.
He's
who
dope.
else did you mention? Yeah, of course, but they haven't gotten there, right? They haven't put in the 20 years. They haven't,
even your favorites, even the Burt Kreischer, he's not a legend yet.
No, I don't even like his comedy, to be honest, his stand-up. I dig him as a podcaster. I don't like his stand-up.
In perspective, Joe Rogan is barely becoming a legendary podcaster as we speak.
Yeah.
He's been dope. He's been the shit, but now he's starting to encroach on, like, I'm not saying he's there yet. All these little faces, I don't want him to take this and run with it, but we could start to mention him.
Covino and Rich level? You think he's almost there?
Yeah. I mean, we can almost put him on CNR.
You know what? There was somebody, I'm not even going to name him, but actually Reinhardt, I got to shout out him out because he sent me a post that somebody put on the Snarl page. Somebody talking shit about like Covino and Rich, saying that
that ain't good.
Because Rich was saying something about Ellen DeGeneres or some shit, and this dude was like, oh, because you've never known the success of them and all kinds of bullshit. And then I was like, is this fucker drunk again? This fucker, Doug, he supposedly that was talking, and I'm gonna talk because he's a talker. So this dude was like, One time he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry for talking all kinds of shit on the Carl page. I just got sober." Dog, 2 weeks later, must have fell off the, in bandwagon and shit
But even
because
right there's a lack of judgment. Like, so you were an asshole, and then you're stupid enough to tell everybody you were an asshole too. It's because you have a problem.
yeah, and then
And then you do
dog,
it again, you look like another asshole.
couple weeks later, he's been again. You're like, oh, I guess he's drinking again, right? And it's like, dog, like to me,
He
it's
sounds
like
like
those
he's
people. It's like those people that are on like social media swearing they have the best relationship ever, right? Oh, my love, my this, my that, my freaking whatever. And then you know them for real, and you know that they've been split up for 2 weeks, Like,
he said
come
he
on
sounds
now.
like the asshole and the hair around it.
Yeah.
Um, Rich does the grocery shopping. I used to. Can't knock Rich on that. Wish I could, but again, I'm baller on a budget, and I'm Mr. Grocery Guy, and that's what I used to do was sell groceries. So I know where all the deals are, and I know how to get the
100%,
quality.
dog. If
I
we were
do it.
25 and we were roommates, I'd have you do all the shopping, dog, because we've had plenty of conversations on this show where you talk about the deals and how to get shit and how Sam's Club ain't always your best. And if you check the meat sales, you're gonna go here because over here it's cheaper, even if you're buying in bulk. I don't even try to with your grocery skills, dog. I'm not even
Well, thank you,
lying.
brother.
I'm just being real. I'm just being real.
And and this one's a quick fire too, because I lost it somewhere in the mix of my notes, but it ties into our last conversation on the Wednesday show. Covino was saying that we are settling for mediocrity when it comes to our entertainment. All the fucking Star Wars spinoffs and all the bullshit, like we're settling for mediocrity. And I think a lot of it started with COVID and the Tiger King, and I think we are, and all the selling Sunset and plant a flag in my ass and all this shit that people are watching.
Planet
We
flag in
are,
my ass.
yeah, that was weird, but
But you know what? That comedian, that white boy, Matt Rife, he was on
nope.
Joe Rogan the other day. Okay, well, he's like
I
a
don't settle
famous
for
comedian.
mediocrity. We just talked about that.
Well, he's a comedian that like all the chicks dig, he's like this like handsome young kid that does comedy and like all the chicks like him. Well, anyway, besides the point, he was on Rogan the other day and he was saying that when he goes into a meeting for like a TV show or some shit, they'll have meetings and say, hey, what reboot are we gonna do? Right? We're gonna what show are we gonna reboot? Where Doug, people are so lame, they're running out of ideas as far as like can't even come up with some new shit, you know?
No, they can't. They need to come out with they need to come out with the Super Vato. They need to come out like they could do the This Fool. That category is untapped. I think that if a major production team came and obviously not bite their style or whatnot, but obviously have something just portraying that lifestyle, the flaming hot Cheeto shit, like that's the untapped market, in my opinion.
Doug,
Before you go steal another idea and put your corny ass mediocrity spin on it, why don't you at least tap into a market that has plenty of tappability?
yeah, we had Covino on a couple of weeks ago.
We did.
I think we should shoot to have
That was the
Chris
best show,
Estrada,
bro.
Julio. We
Get
should have
him.
Julio from this fool on here. I think that'd be dope.
Bring him on, bro.
And if you guys don't know, he follows us on Twitter. So what's up? What's up? Right? We got that
Shout out
connection
Julio.
already.
Shout out Chris Estrada.
So yeah, man.
And
But
that,
I don't
what, and shout out to that show, because that is there on an untapped market. And I think that, them keeping it pretty real, you know what I'm saying? It's pretty real on that show. Like, it's dope. That's why I think it appeals to so many people. That's one of those ones that they could do what they're doing and probably make a shitload of more scratch than if they sold their shit to a major network.
100%.
I got a couple more real quick. Fellas were talking about Covino, or Covino was talking about Jordan and the Amazon credit. I'm assuming, because I know that you obviously knew exactly what that was, like I did.
Yeah.
What's wrong with Rich? Does Sarah do all the shopping?
No, and dog, and the thing is, like,
he's still on eBay.
And the thing is that Covino was like, he's like, it is credit because
It's
I didn't. Even if Jordan did return some shit, that's on her. She paid the money originally. Covino's like, I didn't spend the $15 or whatever. Right there, when I look at my account and I see plus 15, I have $15 of credit, right?
Bro, I was so pissed off because it literally is the exact words that came out of Covino's mouth. It's a digital credit. If
Yeah.
both of your items are shipped and one's supposed to be there on the 7th and one's supposed to be there on the 9th, if you agree to less packaging is their verbiage and a little bit of a delay on that first item, so both of your items can arrive at the same time, we will issue you a digital credit you can use for entertainment.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
That's exactly what it was.
Dog, I'm gonna order a pack of M&Ms and say send them to me instead of individually. Send them to me all at once.
Order a peanut and then order the custom and tell them you'll be willing to take both packages on the same delivery date and you'll get a digital credit. Last one. What are your thoughts on grandma panties? And the responsibility of concealing them correctly if you're going to wear them, or wearing the right, and this can go to dudes too, wearing the right undergarment with the right outfit.
You know what? It's funny, dog. So at my job, there's a lot of, 19, 20, 21-year-old girls, right?
Okay.
And it is funny because if you do notice, sometimes you'll be like, if it's so apparent they have like, tight pants on and you see that granny panty line, you're like, huh, that's an odd choice, right? Like for somebody young, 20 years old, 22 years old, you're like,
even older people, bro. Cut that out. Lady, you know better. Grandma, you know better. You've been around too damn long. You can't, you're telling me that you've given up and you don't care.
Yeah. But to me, it's kind of like, it depends, dog. Cause like, if it's somebody I see that they're like a young, person, or whatever, and like, they're, I don't know. I don't want to say that they've given up, because I could see some chick and be like, in my mind, I'm like, okay, maybe she's like a little naive because she's like young, or like, to me, like a little, I don't know, like a little, I don't know. It definitely is an interesting choice, though. I will say that.
Well, what's Deion Sanders say? If
What?
you look good, you feel good. If you feel good, you play good. If you play good, they pay good. I'm just saying.
He said, I wish I had my toes. Okay.
He does the 8 mile. He does 8 Mile takes on a new meaning for that dude.
Oh, dang. I thought mine was harsh.
He dances on those 8 toes playing 8 Mile in the locker room.
Oh,
doing the primetime shuffle and showing his 8 toes. Remember the shuffle? Oh, that was icky. No, primetime would do his little.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Remember they made fun of Rich for doing it? Did you ever see that clip
of Rich doing it? I don't remember.
Rich tried to do the fucking primetime in front of primetime. Covino and Rich were interviewing Deion Sanders, and I believe, you know what? Hold on, I'm gonna look this shit up while we're talking about it, and if I can, I'm gonna share it. Hold on. All right. And I think fucking he did it, and Deion clowned him. Let's see what we got. Covino Rich. I don't know. We'll have to find that one later, but fucking no, that's it right there. Anyways, if I can't find it now, we'll show it on next week's episode. But I think
okay.
I think this is it.
Or send it to me and I'll put it in here after the fact. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, that's all I got, man. What you got?
That's it, dog. We've been doing this shit a little bit longer than I expected tonight, and I got to get the kid down for bed. So I think we're good.
Shout out Lisa, Funky Monkey. Shout out Blaze. Shout out everybody else that tunes in that wasn't live, but we really appreciate the live people and the interaction.
Like Covino says, shout out Future Dude, right?
Yeah.
Future Dude listening, Future Dude watching, Future Dude on their way to work right now. Shout out to all the Future Dudes. So yeah, we appreciate it. Make sure if you guys are watching this, you give the page some love, you like it, you comment. Even if you don't want to say shit, just be like, dope episode, or be like, the episode sucks. Get that algorithm going.
Fuck, so send us a middle finger even. It's all good.
On the road to the riches, cause it's all about the paper. Now buckle up your seats and prepare for the journey. Let the music ease your soul, grab a spliff and start burning. Relax with us and take a trip to the heavens and come and spend a day in the 757.
Hydro. That's exactly what I need.